Hello students, in the last lecture we have seen about applications of ultrasonic sound. One of the great use of ultrasonic sound is sonar. The full form of sonar is sound navigation and ranging. Sound navigation and ranging, SONAR. Sonar. Normally it is used to locate, to measure distance, to measure size of underwater objects. How? The question is how it is used for these purposes. To locate the underwater objects, to measure the distance of that underwater objects, to measure the size. See, normally in the ship, consider this is seabed, this ship. The device sonar is made of two things. At the bottom of the ship, sonar is fixed. It is made up of two things, transmitter and receiver. Receiver is also called as detector. Transmitter produces ultrasonic sound. It transmit means it produced. It throws that ultrasonic sound waves to the bottom. This ultrasonic sound waves reflects back and receiver receives it. Receiver detect that ultrasonic sound waves. And the main function of this sonar system, this sonar device, is to note the time interval. The main purpose to use this device is to note the time interval that takes by the sound waves to go from transmitter to bottom and come back to the receiver. Okay, for example, here is one of the ship. Transmitter has transmitted some ultrasonic sound waves. Note that the speed of sound in sea water is 1531 meter per second. This is the speed of sound waves in water medium. So by this speed, sound waves goes to the bottom, reflects back and receiver receives it. Just take the example. Let us say the time taken is 4 seconds. 4 seconds required to reach the bottom and come back to the receiver. Please listen to me. The time, this 4 seconds is the total time from transmitter to bottom, bottom to receiver. Total time. Let us say it's 4 seconds. Okay. Now, what is the distance traveled? So I think this distance from the ship to the bottom, I think this is nothing but the depth of the sea. Depth of the sea. So this distance is d. So the total distance traveled by the sound wave is d distance to go downwards and d distance to go upwards. So can I say the total distance traveled is 2 times of d? Because d distance to go downwards to the bottom and d distance to reach again to the receiver. So total distance traveled is 2d. We have taken the time interval. Let us say the time is t, and here for example we have taken 4. total distance 2d is travelled in time t. Here t is just taken as an example as 4 seconds. Now what is the speed of sound? Speed of sound is fixed as 1531 meter per second under the normal circumstances. Now we know the formula for speed, that speed is equals to distance travelled upon time taken. Okay, so speed is equals to distance is what? 2d and time here is t. So out of these all terms, which one is missing? See, v is fixed as 1531. T, the time will be noted by the device. Whatever, here the time is 4 seconds and sometimes the bottom is not so deep, so if the bottom is somewhat not so deep, so time will be less. Whatever the time it is, the time will be noted by the sonar device. So t with the time will be noted by the, so t is known to us. Eventually we can say that t is known to us with the help of sonar device. V is fixed as 1531 meter per second here. Okay, so what is missing? The d. D means what? D be the depth of the sea. So by these way we can calculate the depth of the sea. Let us solve these example which we have taken here. So according to formula, V is equals to 2d by t. D is missing here, so we can frame the formula for D from these given information. So what will be there? T will be taken here in the numerator. So V into T is equals to 2d. Therefore, D is equals to Vt by 2, and this is a very important formula. Here the D means depth of sea. Okay, so D is equals to Vt by 2. If you put the values here, the D, we have a formula Vt by 2, put the values where V means speed, and speed is given as 1531 into T means the total time, and that is 4 seconds here. So here will be 4 upon 2. So put the values and calculate the answer. So it will be 2 2s are, so it will be 3062 meter. So here the depth of the sea is 3062 meter. Okay, so at this particular point, the bottom or the seabed is almost 3000 meter deep. If you convert it into kilometer, it will be 3 kilometer and 62 meter. So by these way we can calculate the depth of sea. Now further, let us take one more example. Consider again, here is the seabed. We know that seabed is not even. Sometimes it may be the projections, or sometimes it may be the valleys here. Here is the water, here is the ship, and at the bottom we have fixed as sonar device. So ship is moving in this direction. Okay, so right now the depth of the sea is like this. Okay, so as it goes forward, the time interval for sound wave will be less. Let us say here the time required to travel the whole distance from transmitter to bottom to receiver is 4 seconds. So I think here will be the time interval will be, let us say, 2.5 seconds. So based on this you can calculate the depth. So the person who is handling this device will be noted that the bottom is not so deep. So they will take care. As the ship moves forward, again the bottom will be at certain distance. Here they will note the bottom is quite deep. Okay, sometimes what happens? Here is the bottom of the sea. Here is the ship again. Here is the transmitter and receiver. The bottom of the sea is not so much changing, slight difference is there. But sometimes, let us say here is one of the submarine. We know that submarine is an underwater vehicle. So as this ship moves forward, what happens? Right now the waves are taking this much amount of time because the distance traveled by them is enough. but as the ship moves forward, the distance will be shorter. Okay, so here the person who is handling this sonar device in the ship will be noted that something is there between the ship and the bottom. Now what is that? So they can form the image also, just like yesterday, in the last lecture we have seen that the image of heart can be formed by the reflection of sound. The same way they form the image of this vehicle on their screen. So by watching the image they can find out that which object is there. Sometimes what happens, sometimes it is like this, that here is the bed of the sea. Okay, here is water, here is ship again, transmitter and receiver. Now sometimes not the submarine, but one of the fish is there, maybe whale fish, not the small fishes, but the maybe whale fish, shark maybe. So with the help of image, as the ship moves forward, with the help of the image, the shape of the image formed on their screen, they can find out whether there is a vehicle or the living beings. Submarines sometimes the living organisms. So which are the substance present between the ship and the bottom, that can be known with the help of sonar device. Got it? So how we can measure the depth of the sea? Depth of the sea can be measured by the formula D is equals to Vt by 2. We can locate, means where the vehicle or where the fish is located. We can measure the distance also, and we can measure the size of that object which is under water. So this is the use of ultrasonic sound sonar. Got it? In our textbook we have one of the numerical based on this. Example number 12.3 we have, ship sends out ultrasonic sound that returns from the seabed and detected after 3.42 seconds. So this is the time required to travel the whole distance. So the t is given as 3.42 seconds. The speed of ultrasonic sound through seawater is 1531 as we know. So what is the distance of the seabed from the ship? So indirectly they are asking for the depth of sea. They are asking for actually depth of the sea. Let us calculate it. As per the given information, time interval t is given as 3.42 seconds. Speed of sound waves in seawater is given as 1531 meter per second, and d be the depth of the sea, which is unknown to us. We have a direct formula for this, that d is equals to Vt by 2. So the formula is d is equals to Vt by 2. Put the values, that d is equals to, what is V? V is given as 1531 into t. T is given as 3.42. Let us say 342 by 100, removing the decimal, and upon 2. So if you solve this, 2171, multiply these two number and divide it by 100. So multiplication of 1531 multiplied by 171, 0 7 ones are 7, 7 is 21, 2 carry, 7 5s are 35 plus 2 37, 3 7 ones are 7 plus 3 10, and lastly ones are these. So 261,801. So D is equals to 261,801 divided by 100. Cut the 2 points. So it's 2618.01 meter. So this is the depth of the sea for that particular readings. Okay. If you convert See this 0.01 meter, I think it can be ignorable. So what is our approximate answer? It is 2618 meter only. If you convert it into kilometer, it will be 2 kilometer 618 meter. We can add this answer like this also, 2.618 kilometer also. In our textbook, we have one more example regarding this. Let us see. On page number 172, we have seen this example. A submarine emits a sonar pulse. See, not only the ship, even the submarine also can use this device. See the submarine, how they use. Let us say this is submarine. So submarine also takes the reading like this. They have a sonar system fitted here, transmitter and receiver also. Even they can throw the waves in the upward direction also to locate the ships floating on the surface, because submarine is underwater. So they have to take care of both the sides. They have to take care of seabed, because sometimes the valley, the mountains like this inside the sea can damage the submarines. So they have to take care of the bottom also, and they have to take care of the surface also. Okay, so here the example is about the submarine, that a submarine emits a sonar pulse which returns from an underwater cliff in 1.02 seconds. If the speed of sound in salt water is 1531 meter per second, how far away is the cliff? Means actually they are trying to locate the cliff. Okay, so what is the time? 1.02. Speed is given as 1531 meter per second. Let us solve it. Speed is given as 1531 meter per second. Time interval taken by the sound waves to return back is 1.02 meter, and they are asking for the distance of that cliff from submarine. Means actually they are asking for the depth of the seabed from submarine. So D is missing. We have a direct formula to calculate it. D is equals to VT by 2. Put the values, that D is equals to 1531 multiplied by 102 upon 100. 1.02 is converted into simple fraction and divided by 2. So 2 here will be cutted with 51. Multiply these two numbers, 1531 multiplied by 51. 5 ones are 5, 5 threes are 15, 5 fives are 25 plus 1 26, 5 ones are 5 plus 2 7, and 1531. So 18087. Okay, so the answer is D is equals to 78081 divided by 100. So got the 2 points. So D is equals to 780.81 meter. So this is the distance of that cliff from submarine. So these are some use of sonar system. One more interesting fact, that bat, the mammal, is having the natural sonar system. Normally we know that the bat are not able to see during the daytime. So during the daytime, bats normally remains hidden in some dark regions. We know this. During the night time, they comes out for food and they can locate their prey. P-R-E-Y, prey. Prey means the food, the insects which it eats. So bat locate that prey, size of the prey, distance of the prey from itself, everything can be known with the help of ultrasonic natural sonar system. Okay, so what bat do? Okay, so bat, let us say this is bat. I am not drawing the actual figure of bat, but let us say this is bat. Here is one of the insect. So bat throws ultrasonic sound in all the directions actually. The sound will be reflects back and by the natural detector. Now obviously the rays which it has passed not all the rays are reflecting back. These rays will be reflect back soon, faster, because it takes less time to come back. Okay, so from which number of rays are coming back from these, which number of rays are coming back to bat. From these it can note the size, what time it requires. From this it can note the distance of that prey. Okay, so if it notes that one of the prey is here, it moves in that direction and eventually it grab it. Okay, so this is the way bats use ultrasonic sound and look at their prey during the night time. Don't misunderstood that normally what is the rumor that bats can see during the night time with the eyes. See, first of all, remember the image formation by the retina of eyes of bat are not so clear, so they locate their prey not by using eyes. They can locate their prey using these natural ultrasonic sonar system. Got it? So bats are using their ultrasonic sonar system by this way. In your textbook the figure is given. Look at this figure. The bats throws ultrasonic sound. This is the incident sound waves and come back like this, and they can hear such type of ultrasonic sound waves and they locate their prey using this system. Got it? So this is all about the sonar system. And now the topic is about, last topic of the chapter is human ear. See, from the beginning of the chapter we are talking about how we can hear the sound and what is the audible range of frequency, each and everything. But the main natural organ which is having the human is what? Ear. If the ear is not working properly, we cannot hear any type of sound. So what is the structure of human ear and how it works? Structural wise, for the study purposes, we have divided the ear in 3 parts. Outer ear, middle ear and inner ear. Outer ear, the outer part of ear. Look at this figure. The outer part of ear is this. Okay, so this is the outer part of ear. That part is normally called as pinna. Outer ear is called as pinna. This part, the outer ear part is called as pinna. Okay, so normally pinna having the structure, like for example here is the pinna. Okay, so this pinna having some projections and particular values are there. So what is the function? That whatever the sound receives towards pinna is reflects and entered in the auditory canal. So this is called as auditory canal. Okay, so whatever the sound is received by this pinna is reflects and entered in the auditory canal. Now this canal goes like this. Pinna is the outer. Pinna is first part of the outer ear. Second part is auditory canal. So in the canal, sound reflects multiple times and goes like this. At the end of this canal, we have a muscular structure which is very important, and that is called as eardrum. Okay, so eardrum is the last part of outer ear. So 3 parts of outer ear is pinna, the external part which you can touch, canal from which the sound is reflected multiple times and directed towards the eardrum. Now we know that the sound is made up of compressions and rarefactions. So that compression, rarefaction is received by the eardrum. So same type of vibration will pass to the eardrum. So eardrum receives sound waves like this, and then start the middle part of ear. In the middle part, we have three bones. Okay, normally we know the names of these: hammer, anvil, and stirrup. It's a three bone structure, and one of the liquid, mucus liquid, is also present. Let us say these are the three bones roughly, and the liquid is present. Now, using these three bones and the mucus liquid present there, what these bones and mucus do? What is the function? The function is to amplify the sound. Function of these hammer, anvil, stirrup is combinedly to amplify the sound. Amplitude of the sound can be increased, and as we know, as the amplitude increases, loudness is slightly increases. So it helps for the better clarity of sound waves. After the three bones, the middle ear part having three bones, hammer, anvil, stirrup, and the liquid is here, they amplify the sound. Now this amplified sound then passing towards the inner ear, and inner ear is mainly made up of cochlea. The structure of cochlea is like this jalebi like structure. Look at this in the figure. This is cochlea. In this part nothing is visible to us, but that is what made up of three bones and mucus liquid. But this cochlea, what cochlea do? The main important part of inner ear is cochlea, and what cochlea do? Cochlea converts sound waves into electromagnetic signals. You can avoid this word magnetic. Electric signals. It converts sound into electric signals, and then these signals passes to auditory nerves. Then this signal passes to nerves, and these nerves carry this signal towards brain. And what brain do? Brain interpret that sound. Interpretation of the sound is done by brain. Okay, so overall, if you see again, ear is divided into how many parts? Three parts: outer ear, middle ear, and inner ear. Outer ear is made up of pinna, which reflect the sound towards the canal. Second is auditory canal. These are the organs. And lastly, eardrum. Three parts of outer ear. In the middle ear, we have three bones. Importantly, hammer, anvil, and stirrup. And in the inner ear, we have two important parts: cochlea, spiral structure, and auditory nerves. What pinna do? Pinna reflects sound waves towards a canal. What canal do? Canal reflect the sound wave multiple times and carry towards the eardrum. Eardrum receives the sound waves. That received sound waves will be amplified by this middle ear part. That amplified sound then passes towards the cochlea. Cochlea converts sound into electric signals, and that signal then carry towards the brain with the help of nerves. And what brain do? Brain interpret that sound. So listen to me carefully. What is the function of ear and what is the function of brain? The function of ear is to hear the sound, And what is the function of brain? To understand the language. Okay, suppose if I start speaking in Chinese language, so you can hear the sound with the help of ear, but you cannot understand because the brain don't know the Chinese language. So the important thing is interpretation of sound, and that is done by brain. So here is the end of the chapter. Here is the end of the theory part. In one more lecture, we will solve exercise given in your textbook. Okay, till then, best of luck.